Welcome back to another episode of the Ian Fritts Show. It's me, Ian. Week whatever has happened, 9. It was not a good showing, as you can tell. We're just going to jump right into it. I have the game above me, but I have to issue what I would say a formal apology to all of you viewers out there. It was not a good week for me, for the picks. We had been doing very well all year, and then boom, every year, every week, sometimes you'll hit a wall, okay? And that's what happened last week. And by last week, I mean yesterday, week 9. We were 4-11, 4 wins, 11 losses in the picks this week. Not a good week by any means. So I put the suit jacket on. Look, I have accountability to my viewers. I'm not one of those people out there that I say a whole bunch of stuff and I don't even address the stuff that I got wrong. I address the stuff that I got wrong. That's why the show order is fumbles, first downs, what if, poll, muffins, fumbles, where I was wrong. I dropped the ball, and quite frankly, I dropped it pretty much every time I got it yesterday. There's not going to be a lot of first downs today. We're not going to hit on a lot, but fumbles, we're going to hit on where I was wrong, specifically this game right above me, okay? And look, again, I'm sorry to all of you out there. But some people like to say it's not on them. This one's on me. The gut, I think I might have eaten something, maybe food poisoning. I'm not sure what was going on down there with the gut, how it was so wrong. So maybe not totally on me. Maybe somebody fed me something incorrect this past week. I'm not sure. But regardless, not a good week. We will bounce back this week. I can promise you that. So I apologize. I have the suit on. We've got to look nice, got to look professional after a sloucher of a week. We'll get into it right now. LSU 23, Texas A&M 38. Now, this is a fumble. I was wrong. I said LSU, they're going to win. I think they'll win, not handedly, but I'd like them to win and comfortably. I picked them plus the points. And through the first half, I thought the game that was happening in the first half was the game I thought we were going to get. I thought Nuss, as some people like to call him, was going to drop back pass. LSU was going to have their way offensively. And it was going to be a good game for an LSU fan. It was going to be a good game for anybody that picked LSU. Quite frankly, I was enjoying it. I was thinking, hey, we're not having a great week, but at least I can end the night with a win. At least LSU will cover. We're going to get to 5-10. It's still not good, but we'll have one more win under our belt this week. And then halftime happened, and A&M went into halftime and said, this isn't the team we're used to being, okay? Right now, we are going to be a better football team. We are going to be a better football team. Defense, you're going to be better. Offense, Wegman, you're done. Marcel Reed, step in, save the team, save it right now. And LSU thought, hey, we are the champions. We have done it. Nothing can stop us, and we're the greatest. All over Twitter, it was Nussmeier is the greatest quarterback of all time. I would take Nussmeier first overall in the draft. Give me Nussmeier over any quarterback known to man right now. Those were the things in the first half. Boom, halftime happens. It was a completely different game. And by completely different, I mean about as different as it can possibly be. Look, the box score right above me. It was 17-7. 17-7. A&M scored 31 points in the second half. 31. I don't know what Mike Elko said to his A&M Aggies at halftime, but it must have been pretty good, I would have to say. It would be pretty good. Couple takeaways. Besides that, A&M is legit. And look, I was wrong on the game. I was right on A&M. We had them in our top 10 this past week. And we've had them flying up top 25 in the what if poll, which we'll get to in a little bit. We've had them flying up the board. So we have that right. Specifically, the game we had wrong. That's what fumbles and first downs are, relating to games, not overall applications of teams. Some takeaways for A&M specifically. Marcel Reed is the quarterback going forward. Now, I'm not some revolutionary guy saying he's the greatest quarterback of all time. He's going to be the number 1 pick in 3 years. I'm not saying that. And what I am saying is he's really good for what you want to do as an offense, for what your defense does as well. Your defense doesn't give up a lot of points, solid at getting to the quarterback, solid on the back end. Defense is going to force a lot of turnovers. That's what they're going to do for you. And it's great. Marcel Reed, he can run the ball. He can throw a deep ball. That's all you need to do. Quarterback run game, deep shot. Quarterback run game, deep shot. You know who's really good at that? Marcel Reed. Marcel Reed. And I said a couple weeks ago, I think they should have rolled with Marcel Reed. And then Weigman went out there and stomped all over Missouri, which to stomp all over Missouri means literally nothing these days. Marcel Reed is your guy, and Elko knows that. He knows that. He knows that. Everybody in the world right now knows that Marcel Reed is your guy. Connor Weigman, not the guy. Not the guy. You roll with Marcel Reed. Now, other quarterback, Mike Elko. This is the reason you hired Mike Elko. This game right here. This game. Not any of the other games you've had all year. The game right here where you're down at halftime. Your defense isn't doing what it needs to do. Mike Elko, the ability to make in-game adjustments, figure some things out on the fly, and make improvements in the game. That is why you hired this guy, and that is why he is your head coach. And he did it to perfection yesterday. 38-23 against LSU, top 10 team coming into your building. I would say that's a pretty perfect win. I would say it's a pretty perfect result if I was an A&M Aggie. Now, he had a quote after the game. He said, "This is a real program. This is a real team. It's not some politician up here spewing nonsense. This is a real program, and I care about these guys." Mike Elko, head coach, University of A&M, whatever, University of Texas A&M, Texas A&M, whatever it's called, Texas A&M University. He's a real head coach. That's a real program down there. And if I was an A&M fan, I'm not, hand up, I'm not an A&M fan, I would be fired up. I would be I would think I could win the national championship coming after this game. Can they? I think they could. They're not going to be the betting favorite, anything like that. Probably still not in the top 3 odds of the SEC title chances, okay? But if I was an A&M fan, I would be talking some talk today after what we did last night, okay? Congrats to A&M. Now, LSU, where did they go from here? Is the season over? I heard some people say, LSU, this is it. The season is over for the LSU Bayou Bengals. All is lost. A message of hope to the LSU fans. All is not lost. Let me remind you something. You have one loss in conference play. This many. And if you don't know what this many is, it's one finger. I was holding one finger up. You have one loss in conference play. Not all is lost. All is still in front of you if you're the LSU Tigers, okay? All is still in front of you. Now, Nussmeier, you got to take care of the football, my guy. Some of the throws, you just saw a black jersey and thought, I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give it to him. An A&M player after the game said, the interception I got, paraphrasing, by the way, the interception I got, I'm not even sure. I didn't think Nussmeier would ever throw it that way. I thought there's no way he's throwing it over here because I was in front of his wide receiver. There's no way he's throwing it to me, and he threw it right at me. And I thought, I got the ball. What a crazy coincidence. Nussmeier, you got to take care of the football. You're going home this week. You got a bye week, and you have Alabama. You beat Alabama, still everything in front of you. Even if you lose Alabama, still an outside shot. Outside keyword there. But all is still in front of you. Now, you got to win your games going forward, but all is still in front of you. The season is not lost. Message of hope for LSU. A&M, congrats. Big time win. We'll move right along to another game I was incorrect about. This one, got to take a sip here. Nice little mug. If you want one, let me know. Nebraska 17. Ohio State 21. Look, I could take this a lot of different ways, but I'm going to go the way that I think all of you agree with. I'm not sure how good Ohio State is right now. And by how good, I mean they got talent. Yeah, I acknowledge that. They have talent all over the building. Every position, they're talented. As a football team, I'm not sure how good of a football team they are. This was coming off a bye, mind you. Okay? Ohio State was coming off of a bye. Nebraska just played somebody coming off of a bye last week in Indiana. And they got smacked up and down the field, all over it, blood everywhere, ran over by 25 horses type of game last week for Nebraska. And they come out here and have a chance to win against the number 3-4 team in the country in Ohio State. What are we doing in Columbus? What are we doing? What is going on, Ryan Day? What is going on? Now, you won the game. Congrats. You did what you needed to do. You have to go to Happy Valley next weekend and beat the Penn State Nittany Lions. Okay? And not the Nebraska corner. No shame on Nebraska. No shame on Nebraska. You have to go to a much better football team and beat them next week. Now, I have this thing about Ohio State. I think got to look good in this suit here. I think Ohio State has this thing under Ryan Day where they get up for the big games and they sit down and just kind of chill for the lesser games like this Nebraska game, and they just kind of go through the motions. Would I want my team to do that? No. And if I was an Ohio State fan, I would be furious, out of my mind, furious right now if I'm an Ohio State Buckeye fan. This is an unacceptable result. You were favored by 25 points. You didn't even score 25 points. You scored 7 points in the second half against Nebraska. Nebraska, good defense. They got 56 hung on them last week. If I'm Ohio State, I'm furious. Absolutely furious. And you should be. You should be. Ridiculous if you're an Ohio State fan. Absolutely ridiculous, okay? I'm not sure how good Ohio State is right now. I'm dropping them pretty far in the what if poll. We'll find out a little bit later. Now, I thought coming off a bye would help this team. I thought, hey, get a little mindset shift after the loss to Oregon. We're going to shift our minds. We're going to come out here and hammer Nebraska. Hammer. And they came out and looked like a bunch of puppy dogs, okay? Not a bunch of puppy dogs that were wanting to play some football. They just look like a bunch of puppy dogs out there. Just kind of going through whatever. Oh, squirrel. Boom. They go get a squirrel. Boom. Squirrel. They go get a squirrel. They looked lost. Lost. The Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, we'll talk about a little team that I am excited about. I was correct about. Side note, Navy, don't have a slide for them. Notre Dame. I am officially 0-9 in Notre Dame games this year. Or 8, however many games Notre Dame has played. I have picked that game incorrectly every single week. I'm not sure how that's even possible statistically, but I've done it. I've defied the odds. So we'll see if I can go 0-10 with Notre Dame next weekend. Washington, 17. Indiana, 31. Look, in all honesty, the game was close a couple times, but it never really felt like this game was close, okay? We had Indiana covering this game. I thought Indiana was going to win big. They won big. And it got close a couple times points-wise, but never in this game did I think, whoa, 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 whoa. Here come the Huskies. Here come the Huskies. No. And you know why I felt that way? Because there's a man named Curt Cignetti, head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. We've been talking about him for 3-4 weeks now, 5 weeks possibly. And he's been soaring up the what-if poll very high right now, the highest they have been in the what-if poll. We've been talking about Curt Cignetti and the Indiana Hoosiers, and we've been very high on him. And we were correct about this game. We will continue to be correct about the Indiana Hoosiers. And we like them a lot. We like them a lot. Very good football team. Very underrated football team. And I'm never in doubt with the Hoosiers right now because Curt Cignetti might be the best coach in college football. Might, keyword there. But best coach in college football, not out of his sight by any means, by any measure. It is well within his grasp. He is right on the edge of doing that, becoming the best coach in all of college football, because all he does is win. And when that guy's at the helm, I am comfortable. If he's the head coach of my football team, I have no worries in the world. He's going to get it figured out. He's going to bring in a dog off the street and make him the best quarterback you've ever seen. That's what Curt Cignetti's going to do. And he's done it in Indiana. This team won 3 games last year. This many, 3. Three wins last year for Indiana. They're 8-0. Almost tripled. And it's not even November yet. That's how good Curt Cignetti is at coaching football. He's the guy I would want to lead my football team. We're going to jump into the what-if poll now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the what-if poll is my top 25 here at the Ian Fritts Show, and it is the only correct top 25. The AP poll came out maybe an hour ago, and just shout out AP, because you guys got to do better, man. I mean, it is absolutely appalling, ridiculous, just downright disrespectful what you're doing with Missouri still in the top 25. We dropped Missouri 5 weeks ago from the top 25. They were already about 18 in the what-if poll. We dropped them. We kicked them out of the top 100. That's how bad that Missouri football team is right now, okay? Disrespectful to other football teams that they're even sniffing the top 25. Even sniffing it. Disrespectful. Why are you doing that, AP? It is a tragedy. All right, number 25 team in the country. Some of you are going to say, Ian, you just went on that little rant and you're going to have the Florida Gators at number 25 in your top 25. Yes, I am, because what I've seen from the Florida Gators, they're playing solid defense. DJ Lagway looks like an absolute dude at quarterback. They have some nice pieces offensively. Watch out for the Florida Gators. You know how they play this week? They play the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, I'm not saying they're going to beat Georgia, but watch out for the Florida Gators this weekend against Georgia. They're a top 25 football team for sure. You know who else is a top 25 football team? Arkansas Razorbacks. They scored about a bazillion points against Mississippi State last weekend. Defense, still a little suspect if I'm an Arkansas Razorback fan. However, the offense is showing a lot of promise. Your head coach still may get fired at the end of the year, but if I'm Arkansas, I may not fire him with the way the team's playing right now. They have the big win over Tennessee. Arkansas looks like they're rolling, ladies and gentlemen. I've done it. I have done it. Colorado Buffaloes, Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, whoever you want to talk about on that football team, they're proving me wrong. Look, I was a Colorado hater. I still kind of want to hate on Colorado. No disrespect to Colorado. That's just my emotions toward the football team right now. I don't like them, but I put all bias aside in this show, and I put you where you deserve to be. And you deserve to be a top 25 football team right now with what you've done on the football field. And that's what this should be about. This top 25 should be about what you've done on the football field. It shouldn't be about what you're going to do, what you've done, who your players are, what the perceived notions coming into the season are, what you're going to do. No, we can't rank based on what you're going to do, and we can't rank based on who's on your football team or what our preconceived notions are, because that's when you get an incorrect top 25 at AP. You got to go based on what they've done on the field and heavily weight that based on recently, because teams improve throughout the season and they get worse throughout the season. I was trying to think of a one word for get worse. Decline. The teams decline over the course of the season. So I heavily weight mine based on the last 2-3 weeks with all of the season incorporated. That's how this top 25 works for me in the what if poll. In Colorado, you're soaring up this leaderboard. Congrats, Colorado Buffaloes. Number 22 team in the country, the Washington State Cougars, 7-1, continue to win. They're not the flashiest team. They're not going to win big every week, but they're going to win football games, and that's all you can ask for. That is all you can ask for if you're a Washington State Cougar fan. So congrats, Washington State. First appearance in the top 25 this week. Good for you guys. Number 21 team in the country, Army. Yeah, Army. Still in the top 25. There you go. Number 20 team in the country, SMU Mustangs. Look, they should have lost to Duke. I'm just going to throw, I use the word should have. I use it, and I use it willingly here. Honestly, flippantly in a good way, because they had 6 turnovers. They were playing at Duke, and they won the football game by 1 point. How does this happen? They had to block a field goal to win the game, get it to overtime. They had to stop a 2-point conversion, and they did it. Credit to SMU. I was very high on them coming into the year. I predicted them to go to 10-2. They're well on their way to 10-2 with the schedule. Good for SMU. Outside shot at the top 25, at the college football playoff. Ole Miss. Look, tale of two halves yesterday versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma couldn't score the entire season, and then all of a sudden they looked competent, and then all of a sudden they looked not competent after Ole Miss made some adjustments. So they're the exact same place they were last week. So is Alabama. So is Tennessee. But the Pittsburgh team up there in Pennsylvania, Pat Narduzzi has a squad. They have a squad in Pittsburgh right now. Watch out for them. They're a really good football team. Defensively, offense, Eli Holstein playing some really good football right now. Watch out for Pittsburgh. Everybody's been saying it for about 2 weeks, and they've been right. Watch out for Pittsburgh, ladies and gentlemen. Top 15, this is where the nitty-gritty starts. Kansas State at 15. A little disappointed. Rivalry game. You got to factor that in, but Kansas is awful. So I've dropped them 3-4 spots from where they were last week. LSU, dropped them a couple spots. Still think they're a really good football team, so don't worry if you're LSU. I gave you the pep talk earlier. You shouldn't be worried. Number 13 team in the country, Boise State Broncos. No change for them. Won a tough, hard-fought battle against UNLV. Good for you guys. Iowa State on a bye. Don't have much to say. 11 team in the country, Notre Dame. Fighting Irish. Look, This is a team I've been wrong about the entire year. I'm not sure where to put the Fighting Irish. I'm not sure what to do with them. I'm not sure exactly what's going on in South Bend, Indiana. You could convince me they're not a very good football team, and I think I could believe you, but you could convince me they're a really good football team, and I think I could believe you. I have no idea what to do with Notre Dame, so that's why they're at 11. I think they're good, but I've been wrong about them every single year. Every time I pick them to win and cover, they don't. Every time I pick them to not cover, they do. I don't know what to do with the Fighting Irish right now, so I'm going to put them at 11. I think that's a good spot for them. I'm not sure. Number 10 team in the country, BYU Cougars. I'm just never going to doubt the Cougars ever again. They prove the doubters wrong week in and week out. And just credit to BYU. They were top 10 last week. They're top 10 again this week. Ohio State Buckeyes, number 9 team in the country. I may have them lower than anyone else in the country right now. And I think it's deserved. They haven't shown anything. They haven't shown anything on the field that deserved, honestly, maybe not even deserve to be in the top 10 other than they haven't lost. Except they have to Oregon. And even in that game, I was a little confused about Ohio State. Okay, they're the number 9 team in the country. No doubt in my mind. I'm a little frustrated with Ohio State right now, ladies and gentlemen. Number 8 team in the country, Miami Hurricanes. No change from their position last week. Number 7 team in the entire country, the Texas A&M Aggies. And I'm going to put Texas up there. I went back and forth, Texas over A&M. If you have Texas A&M above Texas, I have no fault in you. I had A&M above Texas, and then I went back and forth, and I was like, look, we're going to give Texas the benefit of the doubt right now. And I'm not sure why, to be honest with you. I'm not sure why I'm giving Texas the benefit of the doubt. The more I look at this list, the more I want to put A&M above Texas. That happens. That happens. No, Clemson Tigers, number 5 team in the country. I love Clemson. I love what they're doing. Big game this weekend if you're a Clemson Tiger fan because you're actually playing football, and they didn't play football last week. So Clemson, top 5, could soar up this board at any moment. And you know who is soaring? I'm just going to put them all up there. Oregon at number 1, Georgia number 2, Penn State at number 3, Indiana number 4. Indiana Hoosiers, I said it last week, they could very well be, what I said last week was they could very well be number 1 at some point during this season. And it could be very quick if they continue to play the level of football that they are playing. Penn State and Nittany Lions, prove me wrong yet again. That's another team that I just can't quite get my finger on. Did they look better? Did they look better when Drew Allar went down? I think they did. Now, I'm not saying backup quarterback, Padula, whatever his name is. It's an interesting name. I think they might have looked better with him in there than Drew Allar. Now, the vertical passing game, I don't think it was quite there, but the ability to run the rock with that backup quarterback, watch out for Penn State. They might be a better football team with him in there. Now, I think Drew Allar is scheduled to be back this upcoming week. Looked like it was a minor injury, but I think Penn State might be better with their backup quarterback. I may be the first person to say that. I may be crazy if I haven't watched all of Penn State every single minute and know the ins and outs of the team. But just based on football and watching them play, I think he might be a little bit better. That's just me, though. All right. Muffins. Some of you are thinking, what is muffins? Well, each week we give, people can earn muffins. You can be a stud muffin, and stud muffin means you have great performance. You're a team that had a great performance, a unit on that team, a fan base maybe the officials, if they have a really good week. It will never happen. But on this show, we certify people as stud muffins, okay? People, units on teams themselves, individual coaches, maybe, fan bases, we certify them as stud muffins, and it's a prestigious honor. It's a prestigious honor. And the certified stud muffin this week goes to Pittsburgh, specifically their defense. They turned Kyle McCord and the Syracuse Orange offense over about a bazillion times. They had 3 pick sixes in the first 17 minutes of the game. Absurdity from Pittsburgh. They are a certified stud muffin of a defense right now. Congrats. Round of applause for Pittsburgh. That is all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen, in the Week 9 recap. A lot of rants in this show. If you like this video, share it with your best friend, share it with your neighbor, subscribe on every device you have, with every account you have, and like the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I apologize for the bad picks last week. We will bounce back this week. Stay tuned for Week 10 picks and previews. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Bye.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State. Jalen Watts Jackson
50.